Well, let's see who's up and away today. Every day, I'm up again. Boy, not underground. That's my definition of success. If I wake up in the morning and I don't see the ground on top of me, uh, they probably burn me instead of bailing me. um, anyway, it's time to figure out how to live in Trump country. You know, he's making it hard for us, but the help and everything is still there. But he's got a lot of roadblocks you got to figure out how to get over, around, or through. And all of life is like that. Life isn't being easy. If it's easy, you'd be bored as hell. So really, to keep alive, you got to have problems. If you don't have problems, man, you'd be bored as hell and just getting in trouble, getting in everybody else's way, trying to make them live in a certain way, right? And they ain't gonna do it. If you're a petunia, you're gonna be a petunia. If you're rose, you're gonna be a rose. And we're all born separately, and we gotta figure out what the hell it is, and fit in with that instead of, hi, Brian. But I got a lot of good items I want to talk about if I have time. But here's let's see. I'm gonna put a bunch of things in the chat here that I talk about. Oh, did I put them in there? No, not yet. Okay, so let me put them in for Let's Go Help Chat. Hi, Deanna. Oh, hi, Sadie. Thanks. Oh, man. I mean, you guys are just made my life. I've never been happier in my whole life. And I've done more than I ever thought I'd do in my whole life. I mean, I grew up, barely got thrown out among schools, didn't come from wealth or any of that stuff. Oh, boy, am I having fun. And it's really from contributing, and I feel like I contribute to society and make a living doing that. I mean, I think that's the key, at least it is for me. We all have to find our own way. But I'm gonna put in a bunch of links in here. Oh, maybe I already did that there. Yeah, I did that there. Why? Why'd you make me do it again, huh? Boy. Well, let me see if I could get this into YouTube, so you could see the links too. I mean, I would give everything away for free, but I have a mortgage that my mortgage guy won't let me do. Okay, so in the description on YouTube, I'm going to put all those links that I'm going to hopefully talk about today. Because things are changing. I mean, you got to live differently now. And what's changing for me, and you haven't used it, so maybe you don't realize the government is different. It is. They're still giving out a whole lot of money, but what's happening is Trump's making it harder for you to get it. And that's on the major program. But there's ways around it. And that's what you have to understand. There's always more than one way to do anything. Join the group for $1. Oh, great, I do. Okay, let me do a little infomercial here first. Yes, we're into our dollar. We have a special offer for $1. And I see someone on TikTok join $1. Okay, now again, TikTok Day, if you join, you want to be on the website to watch me, not on TikTok. TikTok is to get you into the service. So when you joined for $1, now by the way, this ends at midnight tomorrow night. We only did this 5 days. So the last day is midnight tomorrow. So if you want to get the $1 offer, and you could join at letsgodollar.com and just rape us of all the information and then for $1 and then leave, and I'm happy you have the information. And it's not, you don't have to feel bad about only using $1 and not going out, because after 5 days, after you're in this system for 5 days and get everything you need and attend to all the workshops and everything, so you get all the money and all the free help that's available. If you leave after 5 days, take all that and download all the reports, like our Meta Grant report and everything we have. There's reports there on buying a house, reports there, and these are step-by-step reports, so then you'll never need me again. Buying a house, getting out of debt, starting a business, getting health care, and business, healthcare. There's another one. Did I say that? Did I say healthcare? Did I say start a business? Starting a nonprofit. That's what it is. So all those you can download there. Get 5 days, because every day we have 3, 4, 5 hours of live people that will take your questions and help you through the process. And then you could drop us after 5 days and have a whole library that you could use for the rest of your life. And that's what it is. See, I think the government should be doing this, but they're not. So I feel an obligation to do this, to make sure everybody who lives in America realizes how great America is. We don't know because we're not using it. The rich people know, and they're using the hell out of it, and that's why they got a spokesman in there now, getting more for them. Because, see, what happens, the rich people really use this more than the people who really need the money, and that's why I want to do it. Now, this is, the tax cut. If you're playing with the news today, they're voting on a new tax cut. Well, actually, they want to keep Trump's tax cut from when he was here last time. So they want to do that again, because this is a graph on who got how much money from the last tax cut. And so this is the bottom 10%, and it goes up. So nobody look who got the most. It's the top 10% got over half of all the money. That's just a handful of people compared to 90% got bupkis, And so they're getting all the money, and so that's why Trump wants to do that again, because they're his constituents, right? So they're trying to do that, but that doesn't mean there's not anything for you, and that's it now. And what's happening, what they're doing, it seems, is trying to put as many roadblocks as possible. I heard a big article today I read in the New York Times about what they're doing at the SBA. So the SBA, I noticed this too in the last couple of years, because the SBA had a wonderful database. If you wanted to start a business, you could go to that database, not the money from SBA, but a database to find free money and help. The government, SBA doesn't give out much free money anymore, okay? It's loans. So if you're starting a business or want to grow a business, you need, loans aren't going to help you much. But they did have a wonderful database that showed you where all the nonprofits are, where you live, because there's every zip code, there was either a dozen or 2 dozen nonprofit organizations that you could call and get one-on-one help to find money to help to start anything you want to start, even a freelance out of your house, or even being a real estate investor, or having an invention you want to pursue. All that, they're organizations, and you could go to this website. Well, you could go there now, but they won't be there. And actually, there's only one, like for veterans, for women, and for general. But you used to have the real engine behind all that work was really nonprofits, separate, and they were all listed there. But they took them off. I don't know why. They're just purposely hurting people for no reason at all. They just fired 100 people in the White House with one. No, what was it? It's like a half-hour notice. So these people working for years and years and years or whatever, and at 4 o'clock they say you have to be out in 20 minutes. That's 1,000 people, respectable people. They're not doing anything wrong. They just decide to get, and in 30 minutes you're out in the street. Wow, that's our government. Now, would you fire somebody like that? No, who the hell would do something like that? I just don't understand how people could be so cruel to other people. And it's not, maybe if your house is on fire and you have to do this, but no, there's nobody. There's nothing that's hurtful for these people at least staying a few weeks to clean up things and getting, wow, and what a way to run an organization. How the hell are you going to replace what the hell they were doing? And they're affecting other people because they're not there to answer the calls or whatever. And that's what they're trying to do, that Social Security, and it's a small business. Well, let's take small business, okay? So we look at that, because if you want to see this here, it's called the Mainstay for Small Business Clamps Down. And they had a neat program, particularly for the disadvantaged. That's what the government is supposed to do. I don't think the mission of the government is to give Elon Musk $8 million a day. That's what he does. That's what he gets from the government, $8 million a day. And I think the government is there. I mean, if he's so smart and such an entrepreneur, why does he need government? So that's what surprises me. And I think government is there. It's like your church or whatever. It's to help us as a community, not individual people. And so as a community, so whether people are going to be thrown out in the street, so we have rent programs for them. If people don't have food, we have food programs. And they're cutting all those. But they want to give $1 trillion to millionaires. That's crazy. Well, let's just concentrate on your business. Or because now, if you're losing your job, another way to get money is to start your own business without any money. And you could do that if you have the help. And there's plenty of free help still, but it's not from Trump, okay? He's trying to put, and I don't know why. I mean, if he thinks if capitalism is great for everybody, but it's not great for everybody. It's a great thing, and it does well. But there are certain people that need more than capitalism, because capitalism charges money for everything, okay? So if you have money, then you could play capitalism, but you can't go to start a business in Google, because everybody there will charge you money to help you start a business. You don't want that. So now they have that database on SBA that you could find all the nonprofits in your zip code that help you. So that's gone, but there's another way to do that, okay? And one way is, so what you're looking for to do this is organizations that are nonprofit, that are there to help you start a business. And they will never charge you any money. Why are they doing that? Because they're a community. We're a community. We live in a community. We help each other. Why do we have churches? They help people who are in trouble, right? Why do we have? Because it feels so good. Why is the Bible and all these places tell you about helping people? Because it grows your heart and you grow. And the older I get, the more I think that is the most important thing to do in life, is that you're helping somebody, because everything else is so fucking selfish. It really don't grow. But you got to take care of yourself first. So don't do that. Take care of yourself first. You're eligible. You're able to take care of yourself. Don't go helping people when you don't have anything to eat or can't pay your rent or car payment and everything. No, you take all of those things first, and you go to find people that help you do that. See, we live in a country where, listen to this, okay, 40% of everything in our country helps you with those problems. See, 40% of everything, that's here. That's government and nonprofit organizations that help you with problems, help you grow in our society. Here's capitalism. They'll help you too, but only if you have money. Here on this side, the community does not charge money. So like if you want to, if your house is on fire, you don't go to Google, because you find somebody there that wants to get money from you to put your house out. No, you go to this side. And see, but it's not only the fire department, it's 40% of everything in our economy. Now there's probably waste there. There's waste on the other side too. So waste is a function of just growth. And they both grow, so they both wind up. And so there's certainly waste that can be addressed. But more importantly, not hurting people. I mean, this is, if you're a human being, I don't know why so many human beings thinks it's good to hurt people. There's ways to solve problems without hurting people. And it just, hurts me to see it, so that's why I want people to learn options. These programs were there before. You probably haven't used them anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll show you how to use them without Trump's help, because there's so much there that people don't know. Okay, the first thing you do is go to findhelp.org, okay? Findhelp.org, and you put in your zip code, and then you put in business. You want to start a business or anything? Okay. It looks like you can't even call the SBA anymore. And they're just firing people all over the lot, getting rid of all this stuff. What's hard now is even you owe money to the SBA, you can't get anybody there to talk to solve your problem you have. You want to pay somebody, you want to solve this problem that you owe the money and can't pay, and you can't even reach them. So this is terrible, I think. Why? It's sort of, Chase Bank, you owe money to, and they take the phone off the hook when you're trying to pay them back. This is nuts. But anyway, so here's what you have to do now. Go to findhelp.org. Now, what's findhelp.org? That's 600,000 nonprofit organizations and government programs, but they're local. Okay, this is not Washington. There'll be a sprinkling of Washington stuff in there, but it's mostly local. And local politicians and everything all have money programs for you to solve the same problems that the federal government has. So you have to look local, okay? It's like think global, act local. What was that thing about? Well, it doesn't matter. So this is 600 government programs that or nonprofit organizations that just give money to people who have problems. 600,000. 600,000. Okay? You can't beat that. Now, the way to do that, you have to learn how to use that because it's, anything that big is not 1, 2, 3. But it's pretty well organized. Now, it's also 211. There's two databases of this, 211.org and findhelp.org. I like findhelp.org because 211.org doesn't work in some communities. And also, you could also call 211, and I think that's bad because the person who's the operator is calling, you're calling one operator to tell you information about 5,000 programs. They don't know. You have a specific problem. You have to only talk to people who know about help for that specific problem. You can't, like me, I can't help you with a specific problem in New Jersey that you can't, fix your roof or something. Now, but I can show you who may know about that problem. See? And that's what Find Help is, who may know about answers to your problem. And that's what Find Help is. So you go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and then you put in the key, the word that you need help with. And for small business or starting a nonprofit or anything, put in the word business, okay? Now, here's what you get. In Washington, D.C., you get 100 organizations in Washington, D.C. that help people grow or start a business, 100. So you think there's only SBA. No, there's 100 in Washington, D.C. I went to Tampa. What do they have in Tampa? They have 97 organizations in Tampa to help you start or expand a business. What about Phoenix, Arizona? They have 78 in Phoenix, Arizona. What about San Diego, California? 89. So look, every place there's 100 organizations almost, for you to start anything you want to do. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road, and here's where people fall down. They think they could just go to those 100 sites and fill out an application to get money to start a business. No, 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 no. It does not work that way. You want it to work that way, and I would want it to work that way because I could solve your problem very easily. But that's not reality. People on the internet, even me, I'm a salesman, so I'm saying, oh, just do this and you'll be, solve all your problems. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth. And if you believe that, then you're going to stop. You're going to stop and not solve your problem. So you can't do that. if you want to solve your problem. You can't believe that there's some magic wand or website that's going to solve that problem. No, you have to find what that is. There is a magic wand, but you're not going to find it by searching or whatever. You find it by talking to people. That's the only way you're going to find it, is by talking to people. And that's why your phone is your best friend. You don't have to know how to use the internet and all that. No, once you get the listing of people that are in your zip code whose only mission is to help you get the money and help you need to solve your problem. Can you imagine? There's 100 organizations where you live that do nothing in life but give out free money and help for people who have that kind of problem. They're the people you want to talk to. You don't want to talk to me. I don't control any, or I don't help people. Yeah, I don't give money to people. People don't call me. Well, they sort of do, but I'm not down on the boots on the ground. I'm looking at the war from the safety of my apartment in Washington. But these people I'm giving you, there's 100 people are boots on the ground solving this problem, with people every day. They're the people you have to talk to. And that's what people stop, because it's frightening sometimes. When I first started doing this, like 50, 60 years ago, whenever, I had fear of calling it up. Man, I used to think of everything I could do before, and not calling people. And it was really, for me, was calling to get work. That was the only way. We had no internet or anything. So, hey, will you buy this? And that cold calling. So this is like this. But this is better than the cold calling, because otherwise I'm an insurance salesman, calling. I don't want insurance. Get out of here. But here, they get paid to do that. They get paid to help people solve that problem. That's in their mission statement. So they have, an obligation to that. Now, whether they do it and how well they do it depends. That's why your best asset that you will ever have in the world of getting help, because the best help is free, but you don't pay for it. So that means if you go to Google and look for help, what happens is that they're going to kiss your ass till they get money from you, right? So that's how Google works, because they're all about getting money. Otherwise, they're out of business if they don't get money from you. That's why you have to stay away from Google. Don't go to Google. It's a kiss of death. If you have money, that's fine. Go to Google if you have money, okay? But you don't have money, no. You can't go to Google. You have to find people, nonprofit organizations, government offices that are in business, but they don't charge you money. They already gotten paid. That's why whether they help you a lot or whether they hang up on you after you say hello, they get the same paycheck. See, on Google, they don't. They only get a paycheck if they get money from you. So they're going to kiss your ass until you part with that money. Find help. No, you have to be nice to them to want to help you, because they could help you for a few minutes and give you one sentence, or work for you for free for 2 weeks to make sure you solve your problem. The only power you have in getting them to be nicer and work for you more and learning more what they knew. Wouldn't you love to talk to somebody who's helped 500 people get out of debt? Right? Not me. I haven't helped them. I show you where to get the help to get out of debt. But not your mother-in-law or whatever. They're not going to know as much as these people who do this every day, and are there to help you. That's their job. They get paid by the government or some nonprofit organization just to help people. Why? Because we're human. We're human beings that want to help each other. We see a problem and we want to solve that problem because that's in our DNA to help people who are in trouble. Some people get it whacked out of them. But you can't do anything about that. Don't worry about it. Just go on. Go somewhere else, if they're not doing that. Because there's a lot of people who get up every morning just to help you. And here, this chart shows you 40% of America gets up every day to give people free money and help. 40% of America gets up today. You got to find them. And the best way to find them is not Google. Google maybe get it down a little bit for you. But no, the best way to find it, what's for you, is by calling these people and talk to them. Hey, this is my problem. You don't have to know what to say. You just have to know how to say, I need help. I need help. That's all you have to say. You dial the phone and you say, I'm so-and-so, and I need help with a debt problem, or whatever you hear, or a housing problem. Is someone there I could talk to? That's all you have to do. And if they say no, then you ask them, can you suggest someone else that may be able to help me? There's 40% of our whole economy is helping people with problems. You got to find the right one for you where you live, because it's different everywhere. I just lost my job. My relationship is pending, and I could out in the streets soon. Okay, Mike Line. Okay, go over. This is a member, so just lost a job, and his relationship is pending. I guess you're gonna lose your mate. What are you gonna be out in the street? Okay, you have to get, I don't know if you're renting, but the first thing you wanna do is make an appointment with a free financial counselor. So you get all those debts and everything in order and what to do. If you're, have a fire drill right now, and if you're paying rent, and if you don't have rent money, go to this website, Just Shelter, J-U-S-T, justshelter.org, and there's a listing, state-by-state listing, of free legal advice, so that they don't throw you out of your apartment while you figure this out. So I do that first, and then make an appointment with a free financial counselor. Go over to Unlock My Goals and find the report on debt and paying bills and expenses, okay? And that's where you start with that problem, no matter what you have in this life, from doing and got in trouble with. We all get in trouble. There's no, mystery, but we're a developed country, and we're rich enough to help other people. I don't know how long that's gonna last, especially the way we're going now, right? But it is there. It's just, and that's why, to me, what Trump's doing is cutting out like Social Security. It's going to be hard to get to your local Social Security office. Wow, we're having more, and people have more financial problems now than ever before because of inflation. People can't pay their bills, so they need that Social Security money or whatever. So if you can't call, how are you going to get the money you're owed? The way to do that is call your elected official. Call your elected official, and you have to beat on them, because they're the only ones that could change this. It's your elected official that changes this. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me give you the phone number for Capitol Hill switchboard. So, and you have 2 senators you could start with. So you call 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. You call that phone number, and that gets to Capitol Hill, and you have 3 elected officials. Apparently the switchboard won't tell you your congressman, but they will tell you your senators. And you call their office, okay? I need help. Social Security screwing me over. That's what they do. They do this all day. They have a staff people that work for it. And see, they're the other people, if they can't even handle it, so they're gonna change it at Social Security. They pass a law and say, hey, we can't do this. And the only way they're gonna pass a law if you yell at them, because they're the people that create the laws. So they're the ones that you have to call to say, hey, this shit ain't working. What's wrong? And if they don't hear about it, then they're just gonna go on their way, because they'll live off whatever it is they're getting now. And it's not everybody, but it's certainly a lot. You have to push back to get it. Otherwise, you're not going to hear. You're not going to get what you need. And there is stuff out there. Why is Elon Musk getting $8 million a day, and you can't get your $100 check to survive? That's not right, is it? I don't think so. But some people think it is. That's fine. That's why we're allowed to think what we want. Sometimes. I guess they're working on that too. Uh, so all these programs that are out there, particularly for business, and there's another great business one. Okay, so we talked about going to findhelp.org, putting in your zip code, and then putting in business, okay, to find out about 100 organizations, maybe 80 or 70, that just help people in business. And the worst case, you have to make 100 phone calls until you find someone. But when you're doing it, you also leave the door open, say, hey, okay, you can't help me, but who else can? Can you recommend somebody else that may be able to help me better? Okay, that's how you narrow in. Lives in Richmond, Missouri. Where can I find resources to make her home more safe? Lots of help for that. And Ron, if you go to her zip code, you go to findhelp.org. This is a member whose mom is in Missouri. Go to findhelp.org and put in her zip code and then put in home repair. And you'll see maybe 50, maybe 150 organizations that help seniors or anybody else with home repair. Here's another number to call, okay? This is called the Elder Care Hotline. So if you're taking care of a senior somewhere, call this number, 800-677-1116, okay? 800-677-1116, okay? You want to call that hotline. That's the Elder Care Hotline, nonprofit organization that will help you help your mom, okay? For anything too. She needs something else. She needs more money. She needs care. She needs food. She needs that. That's what that 800 number for. And that's been there for 20, 30, 40 years. People don't know. Credit card debt relief in DC. Also, I purchased a book for my zip code and never received it. From us? I don't know. I mean, we have a state-by-state book, Alex. Well, if you purchased it, send an email to Magic Mary. She's at Let's Go Help. I'll write it here in the chat. Let's Go Help at gmail.com. Okay. Now for your debt problem, go over. See on the left-hand side, we have something called Unlock My Goals. Unlock My Goals. And what you can do there is click on that and follow the instruction. It tells you exactly who to call, what to say, and what to do. And also then you become part of a subset in the community that help each other with this. See, the whole thing about getting help is learning from other people. So that's what we have. We have 15,000 people now in our community that help each other with their financial problems or getting out of debt or growing what they want to do and things like that. Will they help me with rent if I don't have enough? Every program is different. Shayla, every program is different. What you want to do for rent is go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code and put in rent. And there you'll find at least 50, 70, 100 organizations in your zip code that help with rent. Now they all have different qualifications, okay? So that's what you have to do. You have to keep calling until you run in something that suits you. And if that doesn't work, then you go to another thing. You go to findhelp.org. Let me show you now, findhelp.org. And you put in your zip code. I'll put in mine. And put in emergency, financial. Okay, emergency financial. So this is emergency money, right? Okay, listen to this. There's 577 organizations for emergency financial money. 577. So if there's only 7 that specialize in rent, you have 577 that you could use for anything, right? So that's where you have to go. See, I mean, there's so much out there, and we're so limited because of what we know. The only thing that stops us from solving a problem is us, because we don't know enough. You have to get out there and ask people for help, because they know more than you do, or different. That's what you have to do, is grow that. And that's what, if you want to join us, because you hear me helping members, and that's what we do every day, you know, and like I say, there's 4 or 5 hours every day of people live in the member area to help people like this, to show them all these things. And if you could join us for $1 now, there's a special offer. We don't run all the time. Every once in a while we think, oh, let's see if this still works to get new members. So we offer, you go to letsgodollar.com and you could join us for $1, and what you get is 5 days of unlimited help to apply to every program. You know, so there's 600,000 programs, 600,000. That's over 500,000 programs out there. That's why you can't find them, because those 500,000 are within 200 million when you go to Google. So you'll never find them. So you have to know where to look, where to go. And if you go to letsgodollar.com, pay us $1, and you get 5 days of unlimited help. After 5 days, it's a charge of $20 a month if you want to stay. You don't have to stay. You just pull the plug and get all the information, get all the reports we have. And you can get everything as a full member except apply to our grants. Once you become a full member, then you could apply to our grants. We give out $50,000 to $70,000 every month in grants to members, okay? That's free to members, only members. And you get $1,000 or $500, and all you need is 1 sentence to apply. It's the easiest grant on the internet. 1 sentence, that's all you need to apply. 1 sentence, you hear that? 1 sentence. That's why, so if you join for 5 days, see if it's valuable enough for you to stay after the 5 days, so you could apply to 4 other grants every month. Actually, you can only win it once. So you have a chance to win $1,000, $2,000, about $2,500 and a computer. That's the max you could get from us. We're not like the government. Okay, they give it, you get $100,000. But that, we don't want to be in business just being a philanthropist, whatever that is, giving away money. No, we're here to train you to get big money, real money, to solve your problem. You can do something new in life. Do something, you know, to change what's going on now if you don't like it. And you can. I have senior parents who are drowning in medical debt. How can I help? Okay, one thing, go over to Christine, look at Unlock My Goals on the left-hand side. Unlock My Goals. And then we have a section there on healthcare, okay, medical health. So look in there, because there's a report in there on how to fight all your medical debt. Get that taken care of. There's nonprofit organizations that will fight your medical debt, so you don't have to pay them. There's nonprofit organizations that help you pay your co-pays. They're not also the nonprofit organization to fight the bill for you for free. There's organizations that that you show you how to tell the hospital that you don't owe this money when they say they do. You do own that money. So look at that. That's very important if they owe money. But you also want to do, if you're taking care of your folks or whoever it is, a senior, contact the Elder Care Hotline, 800-677-1116. 800-677-1116. Call them, please. Call them. And they'll tell you a local hotline from where your parents live. So you could talk to them completely. I did that for my mom. She wanted to divorce my father. So I got her free help to do that. And that's why if you're a senior, there's free help for anything. And if you're anybody, there's free legal help for anything. But again, you please realize you have to do some work yourself. You can't just expect to push a button. That's what I mean. We're our own enemy because of what we think should happen. Now, the world didn't get up to please you. You have to figure out what the world is and use it as it is. You have to figure out what it is. Don't wish it isn't the way it is. No, find out the way it is so you could use it. That's what the rich people do. They realize what the world is and they use it. Not, how do I find free dental assistance for what Medicaid won't cover? Kareem, we have a special section in there. Okay, this is a member asking about free dental assistance that Medicaid won't cover. Okay, look at Unlock My Goals on the left-hand side there, and you'll see a report for, or a tab for healthcare. And in that healthcare tab is a step-by-step for touching bases with all the possibilities for getting free dental care, okay? No matter what it is. And you have to follow, you have to do the work, you have to call the people and say, hey, would this be for me? They'll say yes, no, or maybe. Then what you have to say, well then, if it's no, can you suggest where else? And you just keep doing that until you hit pay dirt. It's panning for gold. That's the way it is. If you don't want to do that, or if you have something better to do, I don't think there's anything better to do, or there's any better source to get it. This is the only possibility. I can't guarantee it, but it's there. This is an option. You can really, I can't guarantee anything, but if you learn the system, then you learn, and then you start winning more and more. I just filed for my business. It's a lot harder to do it yourself than I remember, but I paid to get everything done. Now I have to learn more about operations, websites, and finding help before gaining clients. Okay, so you need help with your business? Okay, then there's people, mentors will sit down with you and help you figure out what to do. As I say, the best help, you can go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and then put in business and look through that, because there'll be like 80 to 100 organizations in your zip code that do things like that. And then the other thing, SBA used to be good, not much more. That's right. But you could also go to this nonprofit, which is America's SBDC.org. Oh, it wasn't going where it should be. America's SBDC.org. Okay. So I'm answering questions from members. If you're looking at me on YouTube or TikTok, and that's what we're about. It's a service of a community of 15,000 people that help each other get money and help to solve their problems. But now it's $20 usually a month, but we have a special offer. This is my old infomercial days now. If you go to Let's Go Dollar, this offer is good for only $1. You could join us for $1. That's it. $1, $1, $1. Okay, and that's for 5 days. So you get to use us for 5 days, as much as you want, unlimited. And there's, as I say, there's 4 or 5 hours every day of people that are live to answer your questions about getting government money, okay? And we're all there all the time, all of us. That's why I call it a loving community, because we're here to love each other. And that's what I think love is. Love is helping somebody else do what they want to do in life, okay? Not telling people what to do, but helping them do. And that's why, that's what the government does, is love you and gives you money to do what you want to do in life. And nonprofits do that too. So that's how we love each other, I think. And that feels good too, because that's why I get addicted to doing this. I'm going to do it till I die, because it makes me feel better than anything else I could possibly do. And whether it's loving individuals or loving people professionally, so this is me showing my love professionally because I want to help you with your life. And everybody who joins this sort of feels the same way. And that's why I call it a loving community, because we're here to help each other through showing them answers to the problems they have in life. There are answers out there, but it takes also work on your side. But we teach you how to do that, because nobody teaches you that. All they teach you is how to spend money. So if you don't have money, then you can't solve your problem. So that's why we're here. Show you how to get your problem solved when you don't have money. So if you don't have money, there's a lot of help for anything. And look at the left-hand side for Unlock My Goals. We got reports there that prove this on starting a business or buying a house or getting health care, dental care, mental care, I don't care, pet care also. And getting a better job, all this. I talked about something yesterday I want to make sure you know. There is 500,000 jobs available right now all over the country for people to make up to $100,000 a year without a degree. This is in new factories and manufacturing. We are starting so many new manufacturing positions in this job. Well, this is from Biden who started it. But people are not trained, okay? So they can't take, so if you don't have a college degree and you want to make like $90,000 to $100,000 a year, you can, because you can get paid to learn how to do that. Don't have to sit in class in English class. You get paid maybe $40,000, $50,000 a year while you're learning how to do a $100,000 a year job. Otherwise, you have to pay a university $40,000 a year to learn how to get a job. No, this is, they pay you $40,000 a year because they need you to have that skill. So we could grow the country. We can't grow the country if people don't have the skills to do the work. So that's why every state has this. And here's how to find it. You go to Career One Stop, careeronestop.org. You go to careeronestop.org. You put in your zip code, and then you make an appointment. It's all about making appointments, because you'll never understand what the hell they're giving and why and everything, unless you could go back and forth and ask questions. That's why we have people, 3-4 hours every day, sometimes 5, available to answer questions, so you really understand this. So you have to ask stupid questions to get ahead in life. So you have to act stupid, not act smart, because if you don't act stupid, you're not going to learn. You're going to pretend you know, and you don't. None of us do. It's too complicated out there. So you ask stupid questions, get to know, and then figure out how you can use this tool. These are all tools that don't cost any money, that you've paid for them by living here in America. And that's why they're for everybody in America, not just for the fat cats. And because they don't even need them. I don't know why we worry about them. We have more people in poverty in this country than anywhere else in the world, okay? That's wrong. And more people in poverty than any developed country. So we're number one in creating poor people, better than any other country who are developed. The rich kids in the block. There's about 35 countries that are called the rich countries, and we're one of them. We're on top too, but we're also on top of making poor people. So there's the percentage of our population that is poor is more in our country than any other country. Now that's a travesty to me. I don't know why we worry about anything else but that. Wages in this country have gone nowhere in 40 years. So 90% of us made the same wage in the last 40 years. But we grew as a country, but it all went to the top. And so the average person, that's why inflation went up 300-400%, but wages went up only 30%. So if your wages are increasing only 30% and the cost of living is going up 300%, you're bailing water every day. And this is why people are in trouble. So that's why you want to find out of ways to stop that. Let me help you if I can. It's letsgodollar.com. So for $1, you could join us and get 5 days of unlimited free help to apply to every program. But once you're in, it's going to take work. I can't just press a button and fill out an application and you get it. No, you got to find out what's right for where you live. And that takes some work. It's sort of like riding a bicycle. You just go down on a bicycle and do 100 miles. No, you're going to fall on your ass a couple times. So let us be here as you fall on your ass to get your ass back up on the microphone and keep going, because you have to relearn something. And you don't know, you're just looking at Google and thinking, but no matter what you do, me at all, or whatever, don't go to Google unless you have money, because you're only going to pay for something you didn't have to, or get scammed. So and if you're going to help on the internet without us, only go to websites that have .org or .gov. That's org for nonprofit. They'll never ask you for money. Or .gov. That's government. They never ask you for money. And that's all we do. Every website we show you will never ask you for money. Okay, guys? I gotta go and exercise, or I'm not gonna be living as long as I'd like to, because I'm having a ball. And why? Because I see that what I know people get help with, and I can help people. The nicest feeling in the world is giving. So giving is selfish. So remember that. The more you give, the better you feel. Looking for grant nursing, okay? Go to findhelp.org, that's a good place to find it, or go to letsgodollar.com. Join us for 5 days for $1, $1, okay? Okay, guys, thank you again for letting me expose or whatever the hell I'm doing here. But thank you for being there, because if you weren't there, I'd have to think of something else to do. And I would, because I want to give. I feel now, I only have about 10 years left. I want to spend that giving, because it feels good. It's very selfish.